Hello and welcome back. We're picking up where we left off last time in Shadow Empire. We're at the end of round 54 here as we start up a new stream. As far as demands go, we have one demand of us via our population, and that is to invade, well, be at war with the neighbors, one of the neighbors, this neighbor, in 5 turns. This is also the major that is the score leader, so we got to be at war with the score leader as the person in last in 5 turns. So this is potentially going to go terribly. I think we're going to declare next turn. I think we will be, in position next turn. The turn after we'll probably declare. Reconnaissance-wise, we have pretty poor reconnaissance. We start getting usable information at about a 40 recon. Because of the massive stack of units here, we have 40 recon. And once we're deployed, I might be able to see what we're facing here on this flank. I've deployed most of the troops down here because, well, we've got this bit of stretch of road here. Fixing the gap in the roads is going to be pretty easy. So I kind of want to sweep around. Not sure how big the sea here is. Basically sweep around and hook up to the sea. And basically see if we can try to get behind these guys. Our preliminary information on enemy units implies that our units are about... What's the fairest way to say this? Are about... Well, they're one to 1.5 generations behind. So we're going to have trouble trying to kill these units without massive bonuses, such as encirclements and cutting their supplies off. I'm hoping, because from a firepower standpoint, if they're 2 techs ahead, it's actually in the armor department. So we're going to have difficulty trying to kill them, but they're not necessarily that far ahead on combat. They're about 4 times our strength in the firepower department, so I suspect we can probably hold 2v1 defensively against them. To attack, and that's where things are going to get concerning, we probably need to be something like 16 to 1. And we're not going to get 16 to 1. I think we probably outnumber them about, in the moment on this front. Because we're not at war and they don't know what we're thinking about war, they're not adequately deployed over here. That, once we declare war, will probably end relatively quickly. So we've got a window here at the beginning of the war where I think we can threaten these units and get them to back off. At the same time, we're going to be immediately trying to negotiate peace, because we're not going to be able to sustain that tempo against their power. They're going to get stronger as we fight them, because their reinforcements are probably going to arrive from other flanks. Unless they are heavily pressured on other flanks, in which case they might deem that losing territory against us is in fact the way to go. But I'm not going to assume that. I'm going to assume that we have to be scary and try to sort of sneak around both edges here while holding the front line 2 to 1 against each of their enemy units. Because for practice, we would be poor to actually attack their units. On the other hand, threatening encirclement. So, for example, in this one, right, we got to the point where there's only 1 hex for him to back off into, where his supplies are coming through. He's probably going to back into that hex to avoid being circled. So we can sort of chase them backwards because of how bad being out of supply is for fighting purposes. Oh, this is one of the new ones. Let's get you moving. We are running... Oh, so we're going to take a look at profiles here. We're trying to run Democracy, Enforcement, and Fist. We slightly screwed up, so we've actually got a little bit of commerce in here. I don't think that bothers us too much. And in Fist, we have the Volunteerism feat, which is giving us militia units every once in a while for free. Plus, we are maintaining a militancy of 100%. So at the moment, we should not be expecting our militia to grow in number, because current size is in fact larger than maximum size. So unless we lose militia units, the militia is that size. On the other hand, this is because of the laws we've been saying. This is one of the nice things about Republica DLC. We do have all 4 of the militia laws, so our militia forces are 4 times their normal strength. And they have fairly high morale, which would be disproportionate to militia forces normally. We're working with +10 militia race morale, +10, +10. All of them prepared +10 race morale. So we got some pretty high morale militia here, which is maybe unusual for comparison to earlier patches. We got a subject down south, and then we're trying to do spoiled democracy. We have yet to fail to actually get the virtue low enough there. Although it has rewarded us with the Peace Monument, Grand Archives. Once we get our virtue low enough, we might try to do things like free press and leisure. We've got those cards, but we're actually holding off on doing them because they improve virtue, which we don't. We want to be spoiled democracy. We want to get up to permanent militancy and military ready to serve, which we can't do if our virtue's high. So we need the virtue to come down before we can pass in free press and leisure. But yeah, the goal really is to get up to permanent militancy, so we can have as large of a regular force as we want, and then militia ready to serve, allowing us to sort of transition militia forces into regular forces is what we'd like to see for the long term in the run. So, given the current state, I suppose we've gone over enough. I think it's time to cycle the turn. Again, we're not really expecting any more prospecting-wise. There is some stuff we can mine, but rather we probably want to scrap the ruin we're on. We know there's no archaeological sites in it to waste. And we like our word score to go up, so let's cycle the turn. With more of the troops on the front line, we might actually have more recon. We might get a better idea of actual strength of the enemy units in the area. Because again, I think we've got a demand to declare war in 5 turns. I think we are going to try to declare war during this part. If for no other reason, then I don't think they're adequately deployed, so being able to declare and set the tempo of the war is probably a good thing. And we're watching other turns. I don't think anything we're not seeing anything concerning. We've got nomads with 1 tile to the south. We're not really worried about them. We've got a protectorate to the south otherwise. The robots up north have most been driven back, so we've got pretty secure borders. Other than the fact that we've got basically sandwiched between 2 majors. Round 55, we got 93 reports. Discovered hospital. We have a rebel operation. Okay, that's not good. That's going to delay me declaring that war. Where are the rebels? The rebels are down there on the road. Of course, they're on the road. You're too heavy to do that move. Okay. Can you do it from there? You can, but you can't. Oh no, you can get all the way down to the front. You would be everything we can deploy, which I'd probably want to deploy the smaller units instead. And obviously, strategically redeployed guys do not provide a particularly great recon the turn they strategically redeployed. Yeah, that's roughly what we got for the front line. Okay, so that's a little bit more concerning based on what we can now see. We've got recon up to 40 here, now the units are properly deployed. And we are seeing tanks. We do not have adequate anti-tank weapons. Now, what we're seeing are anti-tank tanks, so they're not as scary as they could be otherwise. They are concerning enough that I should be aware of their existence. Okay, so I think we got the guys fanned out enough. On the... Ooh, this one... No, that one's fine where it is. So I think on the next turn, if the situation hasn't significantly changed, I think we are going to declare war. The rebels are a little bit of a concern, but we got 3 people down there. We'll be able to keep them in control. With 3. Although we won't really be in a position to do anything about them. And I'm definitely, while they control that road, we don't want to try integrating the subjects to the south. And one of our cabinet members just quit. Okay. Good cabinet member. Military research counselor. Okay. That could have been better, but I can work with that. I can definitely work with that.
Yes, sir.
Camp 1, you're not a good enough replacement.
Yes, sir.
Camp 3, that'll work for a replacement. There we go. Yeah, that's what we're gonna do. We don't have much political power. Construction-wise, I don't think I have anything under construction. I think the solution... The solution, if I'm worried about power, is the improve the scavengers. The one reason we were holding off is I think we can hit solar energy fast enough. I can do it with solar energy, and that would be the better long-term solution. Yeah, we're doing 5% a turn, so we'll have it in 3. It'll take another turn to build. It'll take another turn to provide power. But we have more than 5 turns of power, so that's acceptable. That's an acceptable burn rate. We can work with that. Yeah, let's cycle the turn. We will declare on the next one, unless we see something particularly scary out of the neighbors. The tanks are concerning, but they're not too bad, because tank units are going to be half the size of infantry units. So seeing a tag that is a tank, okay, we're seeing 1 tank. I'm assuming it's 5. But those tanks, as far as threatening your infantry, are about as dangerous as 2 infantry units. So if I'm seeing 5 subunits of tank, or I'm assuming it's 5 subunits of tank, I should still be able to block that with 2 full units of infantry. Because 5 subunits of those tanks are about the equivalent of 10 of their infantry for soft attack. Now, that could change really fast. In fact, I might not be seeing the howitzer vehicles, right? If there's a howitzer tanks, those howitzer ones would be real threatening. Because I'm mostly soft. And we have no real anti-tank capacity, so... well, we've got... The militia are apparently... This early in the game are better equipped than my professionals. So my professionals have no anti-tank capacity. The militia are inconsistent. Round 56, we got 4 decisions. Speech on the effort of the workers. Combine the 2 speeches.
Copy that.
We actually want to be enforcement Fist. Incentivize more mercenaries to join, so we get them experience bonus to our militia. Not going to change anything here. And then the fourth decision is who gets the military research council job. I'd like my interior counselor to, continue working as the interior counselor. Your reserve pool. I don't want it to be you. I got better ones in the reserve. I'm gonna dismiss you because you're reserve, so you're gonna piss those people off. Yeah, you're the one I want, so we appoint you.
Sir, yes, sir.
Okay, reconnaissance is improving. And yeah, I think the situation is as bad as it's going to get. I think it goes according to plan. So let's officially declare war. Okay, we have to do it by a troop move because I do not have a declare war button. The declare war card. We've got very low opinions, so we're going to get 9% increased fist profile and nothing else. Okay.
Copy that.
We're invading them. I can build the road next turn. Okay, and apparently that did not actually even affect their opinion of us. That works to my benefit, I suppose, because we're going to get a very rapid feedback schedule on can we win this war. Let's just say. Very rapid feedback schedule on whether we're going to win this war. Well, I know we can't win the war. The question is, do we get to take any territory with us? In sort of the peace agreement. So, proposed peace is obviously too early. Because we want to at least bloody our units and see how terrible this exchange is going to be. We're going to get open contact here for more opinion.
Affirmative.
So open up diplomatic contact with the people we're at war with. They are militarists, we're at war with them. And yeah, they've moved more troops into the area or they've just positioned themselves well. I think they're going to successfully prevent us from moving on Maxia. I think there's enough here that we're not going to be able to threaten them enough to pull back. Although they have an exposed flank over here, so we're getting some territory. Now, the other question is, will we be able to hold the line? And that is what we want to know.
Roger that.
Okay, let's cycle the turn and find out. We may be suing for peace very quickly. Although we have completed our demand. Our people demanded that we be at war with these guys, and we are at war with these guys. I allowed the democracy to dictate foreign policy, and we may be about to find out whether it was a mistake. Maybe a very big mistake. Yeah, we're not threatening enough. We're not threatening enough at all. I'm just watching the bodies pile up. That's what being a technology level and a half behind the opposition is. On the defense, over round 56's end turn, we killed 200 infantry at the cost of 4,200 infantry. That is not a great cost exchange ratio. We have 6 decisions and 89 reports awaiting us. We kept a promise to our subjects to go to war with them. Hindsight, that may not have been a good promise to make, but it is one we did. Okay, let's, that's obviously everything we're doing against them. Let's see if we can, sue for peace, because that was not a great exchange. So that would give us peace. And that's a guaranteed roll. That doesn't improve opinion, though. Propose peace... Oh, they're not interested in proposed peace. Let's take the ceasefire. Because we are guaranteed ceasefire here.
Affirmative.
Yes, sir. The difficulty based on virtue target modified with relations is 40, multiplied by 2 to the nature of the stratagem, plus 10, final difficulty 90. Rolled 199, critical success, we are at peace. Very hostile relations.
Yes, sir.
But peace be re-achieved. Yeah, we're not getting any more councils at the moment.
Affirmative. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Ooh, I want to get the enforcement, but I also want the 2.5k people. After the fact that we just lost 4,000k, we're gonna let the people in. We need casualty replacement. Okay, well, territory was acquired. It cost 4,200 men for the territory. That probably wasn't a particularly great exchange ratio, but, you know, we got some territory. Yeah, I think we demonstrated why we're not going to be repeating that anytime soon. Are you at war with the Major? You are at war with the Major, so there isn't much reason to declare peace with you. Recon on them, that's the Major. Maybe goal to get some reconnaissance on the Palmer Estate. We might be able to get peace and protectorate deal with the Palmer Estate. Okay, well, that was a short, very bloody war. The war is over. War is over, and we... I'm still in the middle of blueprinting the designing the last unit. Yeah, bazookas will be done next turn, and then we can start on next generation infantry. With next generation infantry, if we can coerce the militia to upgrade to them, we might be in a position where we can actually fight them again. But right now, we're going to do a short flurry of diplomacy.
Roger that.
Gonna got some political power. We're gonna hold on to it. The place I should be spending it is integrating these guys down here. Solar energy is done in June. Turn, right? And we're watching all the movement. Again, nothing particularly concerning. They're unlikely. Well, we'd already seen them move because they've had their turn. Unlikely to declare war. Well, they would have declared it earlier if they were going to declare war at the current opinion level. So we got a breather here. Round 58. We have 5 decisions. Virtue's back at 100. Got our Thunderstrike RPG bazooka unit. Want total power over your estate. We don't like autocracy, but we do like Fist, and we don't care about morality, so we will allow it. Faction candidate.
Yes,
Yeah, I
sir.
probably don't need the faction candidate, but we'll take him. He can serve in my troop command. Infantry. New model of infantry, build upon the soldier. We're going from slug killers to unright rifles, so doubling their firepower. Virosuits to pattern virosuits, doubling their armor. Humanitarian aid. I can block it for enforcement, or allow it for heart, or double it for enforcement and heart. I'm going to go ahead and say no here. I can't afford to double it, and we're running enforcement, so we want the first to the last option.
Yes, sir.
Guardian software technology. I can probably make arrangements that we can buy for the technology, so let's do that. And this shows you, it was like 1,800, and we've got like 11,000 to play with, or 1,100 to play with, so we aren't going to be able to afford it.
Affirmative.
Barracks is covered. Cool. Push more militia down here to deal with that pocket. It wants to probably be the smaller ones if I'm going to do that. Yeah, that's probably enough. We deal with the rebels, and we can start negotiating once again for the integration of the Guardians. If we can get a second city, we get a second batch of militia. So we can about double the militia if we do that. So that's why we want to get the second city in as soon as possible. Soon as plausible is maybe a good way to think about that. Did I lose a whole battalion? Ah, I lost a whole battalion. Oh dear. Do the count on the units of the 1st Infantry. I'm like, 1, 2, 3, 4. Where's number 5? That's how scary the opposition was. One turn, whole battalion gone. Not just defeats and retreats, I mean a whole battalion destroyed to the last. Yowzers. So yeah, we need to up tech. We need more technology. That's going to be more plausible to do as soon as solar is on next turn. Because then we can do the solar to power the bureaucracy to, you know, do the technology. Anything else I want to do on this turn? That was virtue, not the word. We'd probably play it. Yeah, I can do efficiency drive for money. And reasonable probability of success, but I want to hoard up the political power for the moment. Okay, let's cycle the turn. We'll deal with the rebels not this upcoming turn, but the turn after. We'll have them properly encircled this turn, and the next turn we can rush the pocket. And have our road again. Oh, I forgot to follow up on the spy I put out last turn. And I suppose I should probably do a follow-up on the diplomacy. Have a little bit better control over when the war starts. Because we know they're a tech and a half ahead of us. So we're actually dropping that. As soon as the new model design is done, we've dropped that to about a half ahead of us. Suffer no losses, nor maiden kills. We have 4 decisions. They have transformed into a tyranny. Okay. Research solar power. That's good. Went sports in schools. Well, we like Fist. We'll let you put work in the schools. Don't exactly like merit, but that'll work. Have we discovered everything we want? No. No, there's definitely more things I'd like to discover. Gauss, combat armor, RPGs are all on the list and are all discoverable. So we went 50-50.
Sir, yes, sir.
Usually if there's things I want to discover and there's nothing I want to research, I'll slide it towards discovery. If there's things I want to research and there's nothing left to discover, you slide it towards research. At the moment I want to do both, so we do both. Don't really have the power for the power plant, or the fuel for the power plant. No ammo factory here.
Roger that.
I want the 50 or the bureaucracy points, so we're going to harness its power instead of scrap it.
Yes, sir.
Doing that, well, sending another spy because I didn't follow up on it quickly enough.
Yes, sir.
There we go.
Affirmative.
Okay, that's the minimum for trade. So next turn we can try to follow up with trade. I sell metal. No, I've got political power. We're gonna do the slightly more expensive efficiency drive.
Yes, sir.
Okay, well that covers our expenses, so that's good enough. And we don't control the road, although we will be in position to do our attack next turn. Anyway, the 4 of the 7 of them we have ready to go for the attack. We're golden for finishing it. I will take another big one down to help. I suppose other than going north, I have been cut off, or north or through our subject, I have been cut off from expanding the 2 majors. We should be trying to grab more north, just so I'm not denied sort of peaceful expansion. Yeah, once we got the road back, we'll start rolling the unification cards. We've got power, so it's time to start building power out. Solar panel field. Oh, 2 turns, not 1 turn. I forgot it's 1+ level for the build time days. Basically the same cost the whole way up. So I can afford 2 turns of building as far as solar panels are concerned,
Yes, sir.
which isn't actually necessarily a lot of power.
Roger that.
We are going to want to get more rare earth extraction. The simplest solution for that is more scavenging. So in addition to building out that building that solar panel, we're going to start on more recycling facilities.
Yes, sir.
I can probably afford to be basically building one every turn going forward. One at a time, basically, here. So we'll do there, we'll do there, we'll do there, we'll do there, and then we'll go back around and start upgrading them. If I get enough power from the solar fields, we'll disassemble the scrap burner. But we're not going to do that until we do that. In the meantime, it's running through our scrap, which we really don't want. But we need the power. And we don't want, because the scrap is our source of rare earth metals and petrol at the moment. I've got an alternative source of metal, and I suppose I can do the biofuel path for petrol, but rare earth metals for the moment we don't have an alternative to. I'd rather not be burning it, but we are burning it because we kind of need to. Hoping to keep that a short-term problem. Okay, I think we are going to cycle the turn. We have a ETA on how long it's going to take the model design counts to go. Oh, it's going pretty quick. going pretty quick. 17% progress. So we're looking at 6 turns? I say 6 turns. 6 to 7 turns. We'll get the new infantry model out. We're immediately going to follow it up with machine guns. The militia are still using militia machine guns, but militia machine guns are not that much worse than our existing ones. But we've done the law for the letter or the laws. We've done the law for militia texture, get earlier access to regular army models. So if we want them to upgrade to the better machine guns, I need to develop them as soon as possible. And I'm not going to be fielding the regular tier ones. It's probably time to go up to tier 2, although we do need to finish high-speed machine gun before we do that. So. Actually, I should hold out until we do high-speed machine gun to the next machine gun unit, right? And same thing with the buggy. That's going to hold out for the machine gun. Okay, let's cycle the turn before I keep yammering. Now, I'm not so sure how quickly the militia are going to catch up in technology. We've made it an earlier choice for them, but whether or not they will upgrade is maybe a slightly different question. They might also upgrade to the previous professional grade equipment, which would barely be an upgrade over their existing stuff, so... We got attacked by the rebels. We resisted. Defeated 3 of them for 1 of us. And that gives us an approximate of how many guys are in there. So they attacked with a 20 stack. I think there's like a 20 stack, 8 stack, if I were to guess. We killed 300 infantry. We lost 100 over the intern to the rebels. It's around 60. We have 1 decision. Nope, another militia project. Demand I hire that content.
Yes, sir.
Okay, sure. Oh, they won the fight. Okay, so that's not ideal, but I can work with that. Give them no retreat path, and then attack from all but one side. Okay, so it does appear it was just the 1 unit. Anyway, we've got that 1 unit
All clear,
dead to
sir.
raids. Lost 3 subunits, getting 17 to either surrender or be destroyed. The road is once more under our control. Everything is trending down. I presumably shouldn't build anything else this turn. I did just realize something. That is building... Recycling spinner also takes a machine part, so I need to make 2 more machine parts. Finish up
Roger
constructions.
that.
You have the materials for that, so that's not a concern. Although it does mean I won't have, well, we blew through 100 metal that turn, 100 rare earth metals, so we're not going to be expanding that anytime soon. Follow up on Polymer State. Already at war with the Major. Okay. So we don't even really want to be at peace with them. Fair enough.
Affirmative.
Use the proposal once again. Military research high machine gun coming along 7% a turn, meaning it's about, well, it's 10 turns out. 10 to 9 turns out, I think. Eco Council. We're looking 5% a turn, so it's 19 out. Alzine's the one coming along fastest. 21% this turn, so pretty good yield. Still looking at 7 turns, I think. 6 to 7 turns. No. Well, if we do 20%, it'll be 4 turns. Yeah, because 3... Well, actually, no. If we did 21% every turn, it would be 3 turns. Always assume it's going to take longer than it does, and then you always are pleasantly surprised when it arrives early. Yeah. That's a good way to deal with certain things in this game. Assume it's going to take longer than it does, and then if it arrives, you're happy. Okay, yeah, we're blowing through the industry a little bit faster than I'd hoped. That is what it is. That's all I'm going to have to accept. Okay. Do we have a work issue? No, so that's a little bit concerning with the food situation. Running a food deficit again. Okay, well, we're recycling. Sure. Oh, actually, no. Let's get that militia project down. It's a zone project, right? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
New militia house. That provides more militancy buff. I say more. That's the first one we had, so it provides 2. Oh no, that's upgraded. Okay. And then we didn't need the 2, so it didn't actually give us 2 last time. Or I think it gives us the 2, but doesn't show on the militancy level here. It's fine. Okay, cycle the turn. I've got men to put in uniform, but I don't actually have the industry to build the user uniforms right now. Which I suppose means I should probably turn the recruitment down. Okay. At some point I am going to want to seal the road going down to Metap. Probably also at some point want to build a rail line down there, but that's way off in the future. Round 61, we got 2 decisions. Got another militia project.
Yes, sir.
It's fine as is, that's fine
Roger
as
that.
is. Yeah, we got even better output on the new model infantry. Yeah, we're looking to have that done in 2 turns. Let's roll the unification again.
Affirmative.
No success. Although, again, that's kind of the expectation. It's a hard roll, but it's not an impossible roll. Yeah, I think I got enough manpower. Let's call up the zone.
Yes, sir.
We're going to turn recruitment down, and I'm going to return the bonus back to normal. I'm going to take a slight cut in the worker salary.
Yes, sir.
Anyway, did our construction go as planned? It did. Recycling facility is done. Solar panel field is done.
Roger that.
Use 2 more machines. Do I need for another scrapping facility? Got the industry, I've got the metal. So we'll get another
Yes,
one
sir.
going. We are a little farther away than I'd probably like to be mining the metal there. That's about 6 out. So we're probably want to put a small town here at the base of the mountain for metal mining. I'm going to mine metal there. If things keep continuing to look good, once we got the scrapping up, I might start taking colonists in preparation to do that. Do you want a little bit of a road extension here? Do that. Again, help supply these guys trying to go up into the unclaimed lands to the north. Nope, that's the limitations on my strategic move for the moment. Cycle the turn. Getting Virtue to go down should be fairly easy to do once we're not in last. The struggle we're running into right now with trying to get spoiled democracy is we're the underdog in this story, apparently, and Virtue loss is far more expected if you are the leader, which is why the person we just fought declined into a tyranny, because they're suffering pretty horrendous virtue loss for being in first place. Whereas we've got the opposite problem. We're not necessarily doing things right to not lose virtue, but we're in last, so we don't really have that much virtue pressure on us. So I have to figure out how to do better. Gotta figure out how to do better to do worse. And I am watching that one robot every end turn, just to make sure it doesn't do anything. It's not... Oh, it attacked us. It's not in a position where we really need to do anything about it. As long as we can keep it bundled up in that little corner there. We suffered no losses, nor made any kills, so it probably didn't see us, moved into us, and got ambushed. We have 5 decisions. Round 62. Yeah, the one robot attacked and didn't do anything.
Roger that.
Agree with the reallocation of credits. I have the money. I'm going to go for the third option. Actually, do I want commerce or do I want heart more? I probably would want heart more. No, I probably do want to lose heart more. Okay. We'll keep the salaries the same.
Yes, sir.
Just find some money to make the other group happy.
Yes, sir.
Offering technology. Okay, so I need to sell something or generate revenue somehow. Do efficiency
Yes,
drive
sir.
here. Here gets us the money.
Affirmative.
Yeah, I'm low on political power. I'm going to take minor favors here. We're going to lose
Yes,
this,
sir.
the word score. Exchange, I can turn around and do unification with the subject to the south.
Affirmative.
Failure once again. Again, not unachievable, just we've got a net 17? Yeah, net 17. That we've got over the 3D 100 versus our 100, so unlikely is a good way to describe that. I might try, when the run's done, doing the math on how improbable it is to roll that. But I'm not going to do that live. I'm going to do that live. Okay, we spent more industry over the intern than I was expecting. Or rather, I gained less industry over the intern than I was expecting. I was expecting to get enough to be able to cover that construction on the next turn. Okay, so it's only going to charge me like 26 next turn, so we should have enough industry for the next turn to get everything built. Yeah, we see more rares coming in, we see more metal coming in, we see more petrol coming in. This recycling facility here is online. We're adding a 71 more metal. Although we're spending metal on construction, of course, but 71 more metal coming in, 16 more rares, and another 40-something oil. So it's all our oil this might's coming from these two locations. So. And all the metal, and so on and so forth. How much food am I spending a turn? Okay, so there's maybe an argument to be expanding the Angry Dome. Oh, good temperature rebates. I think it's a new thing. I feel like that used to exist. Although I will need to save up a little bit of industry for that, so we need to wait a couple turns before we can do that. Okay. Cycle the turn, and probably bring this part to close. Victory-wise, we're still definitely in last. Let's not beat ourselves around the bush. We are power positive, so other than a slight ongoing food deficit, which we can definitely accept for like 10 turns, if we needed to. Everything's going positive, everything is on the up and up. We would like more bureaucracy, and we'd like more extraction, and we'd like more power. And we're trying to do all those all at the same time, trying to expand. as best we can. But we'll see how well that goes. And we're just going to watch out this end turn and see where we are at the end of this end turn. If you're watching on YouTube, we are going to be continuing to record tonight. This is just going to be the end of this part, so you can expect there to be another part up tomorrow. If you're watching on Twitch, I hope you have been enjoying. We are going to continue recording, although I'm going to take a short break between parts to get up, stretch my legs, and sip a little bit of tea. And probably try to get the heads out of the way while I'm at it. Okay, we'll be picking up next time in round 63. It was a fairly uneventful end turn there, but that's probably for the best, because we are hopefully at peace with all but one of our neighbors, and that neighbor being the Untamed Wilds of the North. We'll be picking up next time with 2 decisions in round 63. If you remembered what I just said, YouTube, your part will be up tomorrow, and if you're watching on Twitch, feel free to hang around. I'm going to take a short break here to get up and stretch the legs. So until next time, I'm going to wish you all the best of luck and a good time. Catch you all next part and or stream, and bye for now.